Well, thanks for that, Pamelo. Yesterday, the Constitutional Court ordered Minister Bathabile Dlamini to pay personally 20% of Black Sash and Freedom Under Law's legal costs. The court found that she withheld information and misled the court regarding the provision of social grants by Cash Paymaster Services when she was still the Minister of Social Development. Well, the judgment, which has set a precedent, is also viewed an indictment on Parliament for failing to hold Dlamini accountable for the abuse of state resources. It's also been lauded as a huge milestone in stepping up accountability by the executive. Lynette Mart, the National Director of Black Sash, joins us now from our Parliament studios. A very good morning to you, Lynette. Thank you so much for joining us. And I would imagine you're feeling all sorts of vindicated today.
I think it's a kind of a celebration for the South African public, for the grant beneficiaries and for civil society that the court found in our favour. Yes, indeed.
Approximately how much is Minister Bathabile Dlamini expected to pay for the costs?
Well, the judgment says that it's 20% of the legal cost of the Black Sash and Freedom Under the Law, and then for 2 counsel.
And the court also said that Minister Dlamini misled, and now Black Sash wants the NPA, to investigate the minister for lying under oath. That is termed perjury. Describe that for us.
Well, I mean, the court found that in her explanation of the work streams, she created sort of a dual accountability system, that she did appoint these work streams and that these work streams reported directly to her. And so the question is, this only came out in the Nope inquiry, and she, in her affidavits to the Constitutional Court and in oral testimony, told a different story. So certainly there are issues here of not being truthful and lying under oath. And the Constitutional Court made the recommendation that the matter, the Judges Nope's report, together with this order, be sent to the National Director of the National Prosecuting Authority for further investigation into perjury.
Well, Lynette, Minister Bathabile Dlamini has been under fire ever since the SASSA debacle came into the public domain, and we've seen changes of leadership within SASSA and her alleged involvement with the Cash Paymaster Services. And this has largely and hugely dented her character and her credibility. And what does it mean for her credibility? I mean, she's now moved on to head yet another department.
I think given that the court order or the judgment of yesterday, there's now clear evidence that there is certainly a lot of wrongdoing on her part, and we would urge the President to take strong action.
And what implications does it have on the country moving forward?
Well, on the country moving forward, there is still an issue around the governance at SASSA. We know that there is an acting CEO. We know that there's concurrence in terms of the responsibility between the Minister and SASSA, and that the Minister can override certain decisions. And the panel of experts in the Black Sash case argued that certainly there needs to be some clean-up around the governance and permanent appointment of staff so that the system as a whole can settle.
And having said that, Minister Dlamini has appeared in Parliament on several occasions, but she was never really liable for any wrongdoing. I mean, cases like this, Lynette, have created or continued reliance on the courts for those wanting recourse. What does it mean about government institutions as a whole that are supposed to hold the executive accountable?
I think there's a serious issue here around, for example, the parliamentary portfolio committees and their oversight role. What does that mean? How do one hold a minister accountable? And I mean, there's been, in the public domain, she's given reports, SASSA's given reports. Some of those reports did not hold completely, took the court to make this finding. So I think there's certainly something that can be beefed up around the oversight role of parliamentary committees. And they need to use their powers, just in the way that SCOPA are using its powers. What are those powers? We need to be educated around those powers. And certainly there need to be more assertion by those committee members of the powers that they have.
All right, Lynette, please stay on. We'll certainly continue our discussion after the break. Well, that is the National Director of Black Sash, Lynette Mott, speaking to us from our Cape Town studios, reacting to the Constitutional Court judgment yesterday, which ruled that former Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini should pay 20% of legal costs of freedom under law, and Black Sash will certainly continue the conversation after the break.